In yet another bid to shield terrorists, Pakistan has removed the chief prosecutor in the 26/11 Mumbai attacks case. Pakistan Interior Ministry has removed Chief Prosecutor Chaudhry Azhar for not taking the government's line on the case. Sources say Azhar developed differences with the government over the manner the case was being pursued. Now this comes as a ploy to deter India's efforts to bring the perpetrators of the Mumbai attacks to justice. Remember, the Mumbai attacks were the biggest ever attack on Indian soil. 10 Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists had sailed into Mumbai from Karachi and carried out coordinated attacks, killing 166 people and injuring over 300 in November 2008. The Mumbai attack case has entered into the 10th year, but none of its suspects in Pakistan have been punished yet, showing that the case had never been in the priority list of the country that appears to be keen to put it under the carpet. The weekly hearing in this case hardly takes place since the Anti-Terrorism Court has completed the statements of all 70 prosecution witnesses. And for more on this story, I'm joined by Ahmad Shaheen. He's a senior journalist joining us from Pakistan. Good evening, Mr. Shaheen. Now, this particular development, this public prosecutor being taken off this case, India for long has been suspecting that Pakistan is going deliberately slow on this case. This particular development seems to underline that as well.
There is a background to before the removal, alleged removal. We haven't been able to confirm the fact that Chaudhry Azhar has indeed been removed from Mumbai case or not. But before this alleged removal, there's a history, there's a background. Chaudhry Zulfikar was the special prosecutor before Chaudhry Azhar. Chaudhry Zulfikar was murdered. Chaudhry Zulfikar was also taking care of two very important cases in Pakistan. One was the assassination case of Benazir Bhutto, the twice former Prime Minister, and the other one was about the Mumbai attacks. He was murdered, and Chaudhry Azhar, when he has taken over since then, Chaudhry Azhar has been complaining about the fact that the Interior Ministry has not been providing him with adequate security. Especially, I mean, in India, the Mumbai attack case is a bigger case for India, but in Pakistan, the much bigger case, the one that's more threatening to the prosecutor's life, is the Benazir Bhutto's assassination case. So coincidentally, he's also taking care of that. So Benazir Bhutto's, because of the dangers that he faced, especially in Benazir Bhutto's case, he has been a withdrawal of his security. He has been mentioning at the fact that his insistence or his wish and desire to stop pursuing those cases, stop being on those cases. So it's been an ongoing thing for Chaudhry Azhar.
Right, but Mr. Shaheen, if reports are to be believed, a Pakistani official is believed to have said that he has been indeed removed since he was not in line with the government's line in this particular case. Now, if that were to be believed as to be true, what does it really mean? What is the Pakistan government's line on this case?
I think the source would be the best person to tell, but Lakhvi was one of the main accused of Mumbai attacks, and Lakhvi was granted bail against which the FIA did go against it, appealed against it. They could not manage to resecure his arrest. However, the line that they've been towing is by the book, or at least it appears to be like that. And it could be the government, it could be the powers that be, that do not want that line to be towed and would want to secure bail, for example, for Lakhvi, who was one of the main accused. Pakistan, however, has been saying that it requires 24 witnesses from India as well, the witnesses that it cannot provide. And even if India sees it as an excuse, from the Pakistani side, I think the Indians should get rid of that excuse so that these cases can be expedited. And talking about how long it's been taking, it is absolutely sad that it's taking decades to solve cases like Benazir Bhutto's case or cases like the Mumbai attack case. But I mean, we can see a conspiracy theory in it, or we can just see the fact that justice is just so hard to get.
Indeed, Mr. Shaheen, you mentioned the requirement of 24 Indian witnesses, but the fact also remains that India has been providing dossier after dossier to Pakistan. The voice samples of the accused in this case have been provided in the past, as well as several other bits of evidences. Now, these concerns in India are not completely misplaced, that Pakistan is actually going deliberately slow on this trial.
India has a right to feel like that, especially because it has been an ongoing trial for such a long time. But like I said, a more important case for the Pakistanis in Pakistan is the Benazir Bhutto's assassination case, and it's been going on for even longer. So, and obviously the same argument can be made over there, that there could be pushes and pulls, and there could be power games happening at the background that doesn't allow these cases to be resolved. Yes, that is a possibility. I would like to see some evidence into it as well. It does raise my eyebrows as well.
Requesting you to hold that thought, Mr. Shaheen. Also joining me on the broadcast is Ujjwal Nikam. He was the public prosecutor in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. Good evening, Mr. Nikam. Now, this news coming in from Pakistan right now that the chief public prosecutor in the 26/11 Mumbai case trial in the anti-terror court in Pakistan, he has been removed from the case, saying or probably attributing or suggesting that he was not in line with the government's view. What do you make of this, sir?
See, I would like to make two comments. Firstly, the public prosecutor is supposed to be the neutral. When the government appoints him, government expects that he should work in judicial. That is the legal position common in Pakistan as well as in India. I am also working as a special public prosecutor for a number of years. I have conducted an attack for 26 November. I know Mr. Chaudhary, who was handling the case on behalf of the Pakistan government, because Mr. Chaudhary had visited Mumbai when the Pakistan Judicial Commission had examined some of the witnesses in Mumbai court. Now the Pakistan government has alleged that Mr. Chaudhary was not towing the line of the government. This is an absurd reason, firstly. Now the government has not made it very clear what was the government's view on the matter.
Absolutely.
When Mr. Chaudhary appointed in the year 2008 itself, and now we are running in the 2018. So I think the agenda only, I think it's logical. Also, my Pakistani friend will explain that they would like to prolong and protract the trial. Because the America and the government, the whole world is now specialized in Pakistan. You come to the logical end. Now, we have examined David Haley, who has given the clear-cut evidence in respect of the links between Lashkar-e-Toiba and Hafiz Sahil, Zakiur Rahman Lakshmi, and the Pakistan, some of the few army officers. We are insisting, Government of India is insisted. Government of India is insisted that Pakistan should examine David Haley in their court to prove the case. Now it is very shocking that at the far end of the trial, Pakistan has coming out a new story that clearly shows that our agenda is to prolong this match. Nothing more than that.
Indeed, Mr. Nikam, and a very valid point made by you. But the fact that this trial has been going on for so long now, and at various points in time, the Pakistan government has sought evidences from India, which have been duly provided in the past. Several dossiers have been provided to the Pakistani authorities. Now, the fact that they have also sought 24 witnesses from India to go to that court to depose, and that has not happened so far. Could it be one of the reasons which could give Pakistan leverage to further delay this case?
I don't think that is the reason. The government of India has basically taken to the Pakistan government that, look, we are ready, that your judicial commission should come Mumbai to examine the witness. We are ready. The mobile court there is no hindrance. But the only thing is that Pakistan has taken this stand because their intentions are very clear, and that intention is to prolong the hearing. Otherwise, the Pakistan government should come with a specific reason as to what hell had happened with Mr. Chaudhary.
Indeed. And Mr. Nikam, one more question. In such a situation where a trial like this has gone on for so long and it's hanging fire for all these years, India has been providing whatever was sought in terms of evidences. What more can India do to ensure that this trial gets expedited and reaches a logical conclusion?
government of India what we should do, and we have actively pursuing the matter. I can't tell on the camera, but certainly I must say that Pakistan now, if Pakistan wants to conclude the trial, logically the Pakistan should come with the proper reasoning. Otherwise, the whole world will laugh at Pakistan because they are indirectly protecting the terrorists.
Thank you, Mr. Nikam, for joining us on the broadcast. Going back to Ahmad Shaheen, who continues to be with us from Pakistan. Mr. Shaheen, it's a story which has just broken, but if at all, is there a reaction in Pakistan to this?
Right now, this is an unconfirmed story. Right now, there is very little known whether this story can be verified or not. I've heard some reports where the prosecutor himself has verified that he's been removed. Pakistani media is a little careful these days before reconfirming it with the relevant authorities before airing of any news.
Indeed. Thank you, Ahmad Shaheen, for joining us with your perspective on this story.